Be nice if the Cavs could get serious for a bit, but that's the Cavs. What's up, Jacob? As you see by the description of this lovely production, let's just soak in this W and laugh at our rivals, right? You know who I'm talking about. Pittsburgh! What happened? By the way, I heard they're going to start Mason Rudolph. And it's really funny how we we essentially had a certain bungle fan singing about the Browns, right? And you know the majority of this stream is going to be spent just soaking in the fact that the Browns went out there yesterday, despite the fact they were down so many players. I couldn't even tell you how many players were actually out. I mean, it would be easier for me to tell you who was healthy. I mean, literally, our IR list is so long. We could field a team of just players on the IR. That's how deep it is. It's a laundry list. It is a legit laundry list right now, and I got to give Kevin and company a whole lot of credit because they are doing so good with so little. I mean, Joe Flacco is out here looking like he was. It's like freaking vintage Joe Flacco. For real. Oh, what's up, CPG? My Victory Monday people, what's good? What's up? What's going on, CPG? You guys finally won a game. We saw pictures of the stadium, and yeah, looked like what Brown Stadium used to look like in 2016. It seems like people had this theme where, dressed like a seat. Yeah. Oh, but yeah, we needed this win big time. It keeps us in fifth in the wild card. Puts a little bit of distance between us, the Texans, who we play next, and of course, the Colts, who we already beat. What's up, Green Eggs? But yeah, that win was huge for us. Nobody wanted to be out there in the cold and rain to watch it. Yeah, exactly, right. Yep. But anyways, we're gonna fool around with the playoff machine again, like I did last week, or at least I tried to do last week. But you look at the standings and where we are right now, we would actually face the AFC South division champion if the playoffs were to start. As of the recording of this, I do not have any scenarios right now for anybody. Some people seem to have this feeling that we might be able to clinch soon. I think the earliest we clinch a playoff spot, if everything goes well, will most likely be after that Thursday night game. And I'll tell you what, if we are able to clinch on Thursday night against the Jets, who will not have, most likely not have, Aaron Rodgers. If we can clinch a playoff spot on Thursday night, that means I get to spend the whole weekend just celebrating. That would be perfect, right? As for week 18, who cares? Who cares, right? Most likely we'll get Joe Flacco versus Jake Browning in a snooze fest. If we clinch before that game, it would just be a battle of backups, right? But honestly, I wouldn't rest anybody. I mean, half our roster's already freaking done for the year. We don't have backups to play. We're already playing backups. We be playing backups to the backups. You guys beating. Oh, yeah, most over 500 teams is still wild. Yeah, six, I believe it is. Yeah, we're like the opposite of the Dolphins. We can actually beat teams over 500. And what's crazy is we've had five, I think, come from behind or five wins that were damn near last possession. Yeah. Feels like every time we win a game, it's because of Dustin Hopkins. I mean, in fact, let me pull up our schedule real quick. Let me pull up our Sketty. Sketty? Who says that anymore? Who even says that? Well, let's put up the Sketty. Okay, yeah, the Cavs are unserious. I'm turning them off. They just go from being super serious to being dunce caps in no time at all. All right, so looking at our schedule so far, obviously we crushed the Bungles week 1. That was beautiful. Beautiful. You know, and yeah, I've had some big time fun this season. But yeah, I mean, I can't believe it. We've beaten so many freaking teams over 500. We've beaten, I think, can't even tell you how many division winners or division leaders we've beaten. I mean, obviously, we've beaten the Niners, one of the best teams in the league. Beat the Ravens. Yup. Beat the, well, Bengals. Yeah. Colts, Jaguars. Pretty much beaten almost all of the division leaders. Like, that's actually crazy. And it's just the way this team is, man. I mean, they've won games with 4 different quarterbacks. And now to wrap up our season, we get Houston, who will most likely have CJ Stroud back. But to wrap up the season, we get either Zach Wilson or Trevor Siemian or whoever. It's not going to be Aaron Rodgers. I highly doubt it, especially now that they're eliminated. And then Jake Browning to end the season on the road. Like, that is just insane. A lot of people probably wonder, what if Deshaun hadn't gotten hurt? Hard to say, right? Hard to say what would have happened. I mean, if we just ran the ball one more time or so against Seattle, we probably win that game, right? You run the ball a couple times, you get a couple more first downs, you win that game, and that would have all of a sudden been a 6-game win streak. You know, and then against Pittsburgh week 2, you don't turn the ball over so many damn times. I mean, we gave them 14 points off of 2 dumb freaking offensive turnovers, literally. They had a scoop and score and a pick 6. That don't happen. We blow them out. It's freaking crazy. And like I said, we're doing this with like most of our week 1 roster on the IR. Like, look at this freaking roster week 1. Let's take a look at the stat sheet from week 1. Deshaun Watson, 16 of 29, 154 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Nick Chubb, 18 carries, 106 yards. Dude absolutely cooked. Elijah Moore, Amari Cooper. You had Chubb. DPJ is still playing, but he's not here. Marquise Goodwin finally got that action a little bit. Nice to see. But it honestly feels like it's been like a year since this game. And it's like, you look at our defense. Look at all the guys that are hurt. Look at all the guys that are hurt. Delpit, McLeod, Obo, Okoronkwo. You have, who else is hurt? Oh yeah, Jedrick Wills. Man. Mo Hurst. Anthony Walker was hurt, but he should be fine, I think. And then, yeah, it's crazy how many of our guys are out from that team week 1. And fast forward all the way to week 15, we're 9-5, and we're just inching closer. We're inching closer and closer to a playoff spot. It's insane what's happened. $2 some luck was on our side. Holla. What's up, green eggs? Here we go, brownies. That's the next man up mentality. Yep. And a lot of people are doubting Kevin Stefanski. They are. They are. You know, they're out here talking like, oh, he shouldn't be coach of the year. Nah, bitch, he's coach of the year. We got bungle fans out here saying, nah, it's Zach Taylor. Zach Taylor's coach of the year. Zach Taylor ain't winning games with 4 different quarterbacks. And like half his roster on IR. Like, you look at our. In fact, let's go to the stat page. This is where you're really going to see it. Look at the injury page for the Browns. Yeah. There's a ton of players out. You look at the stat page. I think we have like 50 some million dollars in salary cap on IR right now. It's insane. I mean, Deshaun Watson, IR, done for the year. You look at our rushing attack. I mean, Kareem Hunt, he's been a beast this year. Thank God we were able to get him. Nick Chubb, it's actually insane. Nick Chubb has been out since week 2, and he's 4th in rushing. Granted, we don't really run the ball with anybody not named Jerome Ford and Kareem Hunt. Those two have been the main bell cows. Yeah, Strong gets a little bit here and there, but Nick Chubb has literally been top 5 in rushing all year for us. And he hasn't played since week 2. I mean, he started week 2. He got hurt during the game. Freaking Minka. Who else? Okay, so you look at receiving, Amari Cooper. He's going to be a 1,000-yard receiver. He's going to be the first back-to-back 1,000-yard receiver, I think, ever for the Browns. You think, what about Josh Gordon? No. He had that 1,000-yard season that 1 year, and then he just decided to not stay off the weed. But yeah, he's at 1,000. He's going to be at 1,000 yards. David Njoku could easily get to 1,000. He just needs to go berserk these last 4 games, which it seems as though Joe Flacco loves him. I wouldn't be shocked if he has another game like he just had. Has 69 receptions. Nice. He has 5 touchdowns. Career high for him, too. Elijah Moore, he's not going to hit 1,000 yards, but he's still having a pretty good year. Wow. Cedric Tillman, yeah, I mean, he's doing all right. David Bell, okay, cool. And then Harrison Bryant, 3 touchdowns on 10 receptions, 62 yards. Defensively, looking at and seeing where we are in terms of like sacks, Myles Garrett, far and away, number one sack getter on the team by far. Obo out for probably the year, 4.5. Za'Darius 3.5. JOK 3.5. Dalvin 3. Elliott 2.5. Now, in terms of who leads the team in interceptions, I think it's MJ. Yeah. MJ Emerson has 4. And then Denzel and Greg have 2 apiece. And then Mike Ford, Sione, Bell, Hurst, Delpit, and JOK all have a pick of their own. So essentially, most of our main guys in the secondary all have at least 1 interception. I mean, obviously, AJ Green's played here and there, but he didn't do anything. He's only played 3 games. But yeah, most of our main guys have all had at least 1 interception, which is nice. That's really cool. Now, you look at scoring, and yeah, who really cares about that stuff? Okay. So now let's have a little bit of fun. All right. Let's have a little bit of fun here. I'm in India right now, visiting fam over here. Man, I love the USA so much over here. Oh, I can imagine, Paramjot. I can imagine. I mean, you're talking about India. Densely packed population. I know it's not very sanitary over there. Their food's good, though. Good food. Awesome people. Right? Just watch out for the scammers. They be scamming you over there. Like when you get those freaking. My favorite thing is when you get a phone call, right? And you answer it, and it's a freaking person being like, "Hello, my name is John Smith," and I'm thinking, "You ain't no damn John Smith. I don't know freaking know John Smith with an Indian accent. It's like, come on, man. You think I'm stupid? But that's why they go after the elderly, because the elderly don't know any better. Right? The elderly don't know any better. Anyways, enough of that crap. What's up, Ron? We're gonna fool around with the playoff machine again, because I love playing around with it. It's one of my favorite things to do. So we're gonna fool around with it. I'm gonna move over here, move off to the side, and let's bring up the my favorite little doohickey, the playoff machine. I did this last week. Now that we know the results pretty much of week 15, except for this Eagles Seahawks game, here's what happens if the Eagles win. Absolutely nothing. Okay, what about Seahawks? Ooh, Seahawks win. Obviously, Dallas takes that number 1 spot in the division. They go to the number 2 seed. Eagles drop to 5. Wow. So in this game, obviously, I'm going with the Eagles to win. So they should maintain the number 2 spot. Week 16. All right, let's see what happens. Rams win. They go to 6. Minnesota goes to 7. Saints win. Bucks go to 5. Of course, Saints get the 4 seed. I think overall, I'm going to have to roll with the Rams to win that game. Bengals and Steelers. Browning versus Mason Rudolph. Bengals are going to derp their way to a win. Let's see. Now, if the Steelers win, that puts the Colts at 6. Texans go to 7, depending on what happens against us. Yeah, I'm going to say Bengals win that game. So they'll be 6. Indy goes to 7. Bills are going to beat the Chargers. So they'll get the 7th seed. Browns beat the Texans, of course. Commanders are going to snap out of it against the Jets. I'm going to go Seahawks over the Titans. Never know what could happen. If the Titans actually do win that game, absolutely nothing happens, though. So that doesn't matter there. Now, Indy, I'm going to have them beating Atlanta, which would put them at the 4 seed. If Atlanta wins, then Jacksonville would retain their number 4 seed, because, of course, all 3 of those teams are tied for the division lead. So I'm going to say Indy wins. Green Bay over Carolina. At least you guys won 2 games. All right, Detroit over Minnesota, which would officially clinch the NFC North for them. First time ever, which is pretty cool. Jacksonville going to beat Tampa, which would move them back to 4. Indy goes to 7. If Tampa were to win, again, that would just knock Jacksonville out, put Buffalo at 7. And then, of course, you'd have Indy at 4 seed. So overall, I'm going to actually, well, it depends, though, because Trevor Lawrence got a concussion. And Baker's cooking. Right now, I'm going to go Tampa Bay right now in this predicament. Bears over the Cardinals does nothing. Dolphins versus Cowboys. Obviously, something's got to give here. Ah, man, I'm going to go Dallas to bounce back, and nothing actually happens. Surprise, surprise. Denver over New England, Kansas City. Oh, they got Golden Tate raising the flag in Seattle. Wow. Eagles over the Giants, which would put the Eagles number 1 seed. Ravens versus Niners. This would be a banger game. I'm going to actually say San Fran wins that one. Not even being a homer. I'm saying San Fran can win that game. And yeah, that'll put them back in the number 1 spot. Week 17, Browns over the Jets, obviously. This happens, I'm pretty sure that locks us in for the playoffs. Let's see, Lions or Cowboys. Ooh, this would be a tough game. Oh my god. I'm gonna say Cowboys eke one out. Yeah. Dolphins over the Ravens. Yeah, I say Ravens beat the Dolphins. Yeah, Ravens beat the Dolphins. And then Bills over the Patriots. Bears over the Falcons. Colts over the Raiders. Oh, actually, Raiders, Colts. Right now, I mean, this could obviously change. Yeah, I'm going to go Colts over the Raiders, Jags over Panthers, which still does nothing. Texans over the Titans, Rams over the Giants, Eagles over Cardinals, Bucks continue to win. Niners over the Commanders, which would put them back at #1 spot. Seahawks over the Steelers, which would put the Seahawks at the 7th seed. Chiefs beat the Bungles. So that would mean they'd face off twice in 3 weeks. That's tough. If this were to actually happen. Oh my goodness. Broncos would actually jump in and take that spot from the Bengals with a win over the Chargers. And then Vikings over the Packers, who would then put themselves in at the 7th seed. Ooh. And then finally, week 18, Seattle wins, Baltimore wins. Obviously, Tampa Bay gonna win. Bruins win. Duh. Lions win. We're gonna go Bears. And then I'm gonna go Texans. Now this would be huge right here. Texans winning puts them at the 4th seed. Bills move to the 3rd seed. And then Indy would go to 7. If Indy were to win, Denver would get 7. Buffalo 4, Indy 3 seed. Wow. Which means the Browns would go to Buffalo to face the Bills. So yeah, I think Houston's gonna wind up winning. And then Kansas City's gonna win there, beat the Chargers. I'm gonna say the Raiders beat the Broncos. As of right now, Bills or Dolphins. Bills put the Dolphins at the 7th seed. The Dolphins always seem to have trouble winning in December. It seems like. This is gonna be a tough one. Say New England wins just because. Falcons win. And then I'll go Eagles. Hurts. Wow, nice pass to Goddard. Niners over the Rams. Jaguars beat. Oh yeah, Jaguars over the Titans would mean we would face the Jags in the playoffs. That would be fun. Rematch against Trevor Lawrence. Dallas winning against Washington. All right, so what's up, Lamar? Ooh. All right, so that's what the playoffs would look like, guys. If everything were to go that way, which we all know it's not going to go that way. You could add, wrap this up by doing that. But, this is a rivalry win. So, I mean, it's a non-rivalry win. I'm not going to come out here and gloat like crazy. Just going to talk about real quick how hilarious it is that I was watching a certain bungle YouTuber, right? We all know who I'm talking about here. I mean, come on. If you know me, you know who I'm talking about. But not going to mention his name because he doesn't deserve to have his name mentioned by come out of my mouth. Ugh. But yeah, pretty much, I was tuning in a little bit to hear what he had to say, and it's so funny because when his team stinks, he gets into these what I call clapping fits, and then he starts singing. Huh? Yeah, he started singing about the Browns. For anyone who is, let's say, a 90s kid, or maybe you were a little bit older than that, probably, and if you've lived around the Cleveland area or you've watched TV around the time, you guys might have heard of the Drew Carey Show, right? And you've heard the song Cleveland Rocks, right? They used to play the song at most Cleveland sporting events after a win. Although I'm pretty sure the Guardians, they used to do that. I don't know if they still do. But this dude Daishi, yeah, that's who I'm talking about in case you didn't know. During his stream on Saturday, when they were losing, he was singing, I guess, his version of Cleveland Rocks. And I guess he would call it Cleveland Sucks. He was like, and the funny thing about him is if you watch his videos, if you watch his streams, man, all I'm gonna say is if you have problems sleeping, just watch his videos, bro. You'll go right out. Oh my god, brother. But he was like, what was he singing? Back in the day, everyone knows that Cleveland sucks. Cleveland sucks. I'm thinking, is this dude serious right now? I should have, if I would have thought about it at the time, I would have been like, back in the day, everyone saw us beat your ass, beat your ass. Because, you know, I mean, 24-3, right? 24-3, 24-3. Oh, man, that's hilarious. You know, you want to talk about a clown show, just watch his stuff, you know, and then if you watch his streams, first, I guess he must be on like on Discord in a Discord server or something because he's always ranting about people and he must be like on a Discord server with like some other fans of AFC North teams. Like there's this guy, I guess Jack Brass, who he just absolutely despises. But yeah, like he knows what would happen if he made a video about any of my teams because I mean I've literally, you know, booked him many, many times. And then he constantly talks about my teams for really no reason when we're not even playing him. My teams have been beating his team's faces in for years. I mean, I guess if you want to talk about his teams, I mean, who does he even root for, right? I mean, the Bulls. I mean, when we had LeBron constantly beat them every time he faced them in the playoffs. And then you have, you know, he's a Ducks fan, which makes no sense. If I was a Cincinnati, if I lived in Cincinnati and I wanted to be a hockey fan, I would have probably rooted for the Blues. Especially because the Blues have actually been solid. Yeah, I would most likely have been a Blues fan if I was if I was in his situation. Oh, but they're in St. Louis and well, yeah, but that would have been the only team I rooted for from that city. You know, unless like you wanted to be like you know, one of maybe like root for like a newer team. I don't know. I don't know what he would have done. I don't know why he picked the Ducks. Freaking suck. Damn. But yeah, you know, he's also a Bengals, Bulls. Yeah, garbage. Doesn't matter. But of course, the crown jewel of his erratic statements over the past few weeks was after the Columbus Crew eliminated his precious FC Cincinnati in the Eastern Conference Final in the MLS Major League Soccer playoffs. This dude made a video talking about how they need to add like a world-class player. And the name he brought up was none other than Cristiano Ronaldo. Yeah, he's talking about Ronaldo, huh? Acting like Ronaldo would drop what he's doing in Saudi Arabia and go play for Cincinnati. Of all the places he could go, Cincinnati, right? Like, surely he would go play for Cincinnati. Not, you know, LA Galaxy or LAFC or Houston, Miami, one of the New York teams, right? Heck, the Crew, one of the originals. No, go play for Cincinnati. Yeah, whatever. They ain't doing that. But yeah, I figured I'd, you know, do a little bit of fooling around with the whole you know, playoff simulator and let me know what you guys think. I'll be doing this again next week too if we win. If we don't win, then we'll see, but I expect to win at this point. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got, guys. So took about a half hour. Check on the Cavs real quick, and then gonna watch some football. So with that being said, oh, we're up by 5. Damn, that was a surge. Sheesh. Cavs get unserious and then see they become very serious out of nowhere. Well, I will see you all tomorrow. Yeah. I'll also be doing a video on my Buckeye channel talking about, commitments and stuff and what the Buckeyes recruiting class is looking like. And if they have any more commitments coming up, which I think they might have a couple, but we'll see. So with that being said, I'm Crazy Dog, and I will see you all tomorrow. Go Browns. Big W. And let's keep it going. Let's get to 10 wins, shall we? Yeah. See you guys later. Go Browns. I'm out. Bye-bye. And of course, shout out to CPG and everyone. In fact, before I forget, gotta do a little something something because I see CPG in the chat, and I don't know if he's still here. Probably isn't, but when he comes back, he's gonna notice a little something something, right? I'm gonna give him a little something something. Yeah, he's just gonna be a standard, but I made him a moderate because the way I do it on this channel, I usually like to make any content creators that are legit serious creators, not a troll, But I like to usually make my fellow content creators moderators because I am aware that people like to pose as them in the chat. I've had fake accounts come in here and act like they are a certain person. Me making CPG a moderator tells me that that's the real CPG. If a fake CPG were to come in here and it's not a mod, he's a troll unless he tells me otherwise, and he would be dealt with immediately. So that's really all I got. Shout out to everyone who came through. And yeah, man, let's beat Houston. Let's beat Houston. On to H10. All right. See you guys later. Go Browns. I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah.